Welcome to the workshop on criminal governance in cities and nations in the world. What we are going to speak and we're going to address is the problem that the growing influence of criminal transnational organizations are having in our economies, societies, and in politics, particularly in our nations, but also in several of the metropolitan areas in the world. One example of this political influence they have today is the 162 assassinations of different types of political candidates in Mexico. We're going to review in an international comparative way the different types of organizations that criminal organizations have acquired in recent years. We are starting with gangs at street level in cities like El Salvador or in South African cities. Then we're going to look at mafias, not only at certain regions in the countries, but at transnational level or international organizations. We are also going to address the topic of gang organizations in jails and the growing influence they are having in certain cities and regions in countries like Brazil. Or we are going to make a broader comparison between countries like India and Indonesia about the interaction between political groups and illicit groups that impacts the political affairs in the city, as well as looking at overall regions like the growing influence of criminal organizations in Africa and in South America. To address these questions and to present different propositions about how to explain and provide prevention policies about this topic, we are going to have 6 wonderful presentations today, beginning with Federico Varese, that he will speak about mafias in cities and beyond, doing a comparative view of the development of mafias, particularly in Italy and Europe. Following Federico, we will have the presentation of Angelica Duran Martinez with a comparative overview of transnational criminal drug trade organizations in Latin America, from Mexico to Colombia and beyond. After that, we are going to have the presentation of Camila Nunes Diaz about prison organizations and the type of governance that they provide in these prisons, as well as the impact they have in cities and beyond the cities in certain regions of Brazil and South America. After that, we're going to have the presentation of Dennis Rogers, who will speak about gangs in a comparative perspective from El Salvador to South Africa. Not only street gangs, but also the impact on the cities. And then we're going to have the presentation of Warburg and Schott with a broader comparison between India and Indonesia and look at the interaction between politicians and criminal organizations and the ways they make political arrangements. And finally, we're going to have a presentation of Guillem Sotomayor that will speak on the public policy reforms in South Africa and the impact they have had in the growing influence of criminal organizations. Our discussant today will be Sergio Adorno, an international expert on the topic from the University of Sao Paulo. What are the main challenges that countries and citizens and civil society are confronting with these organizations? The first one and most important that we are going to address is the democratic governability of our countries. The second one is the different responses from public and government institutions against crime, as well as society and citizens organizations. In certain cases, there have been successful in trying to prevent and control the growing of these types of influence of illicit organizations. So we are going to see what types of challenges the cities has and the citizens has, and see what prevention measures they have in order to increase the resilience of our citizens and our nations against this type of illicit actors.